Welcome back. So, video 1 out of 5. Tonight, we are talking about how your disputes were verified and what the heck you can do about it. Okay, so this is how to remove verified negative items. All right, so first you need to figure out what you, yes, you, every single one of you did wrong. Okay, so I'm not pointing fingers here, I'm just here to help you, but I have the answers and you need to pay attention. Okay, so first step, obviously, you need to determine the reason that they said it was verified. All right, so after you figure it out, maybe you didn't figure it out, but going on to the next part, you're going to adjust. Okay, did they say that, you didn't send in your proof of address? Was it too old? Did you, send in something that couldn't be read? Whatever the reason was, you need to adjust it. Now, if there's nothing to adjust, then you're just going to have to move on to the next dispute reason, because remember, your dispute reason, right? Your dispute reason or reasons are the key. Okay, it's not your 20-page freaking letter for appeal and all this kind of stuff. And oh, this is your second warning. This is your third warning. I'm going to sue you. No, that is not the key. And you need to understand that. It is your dispute reason. Okay, so after you adjust, move on to the next dispute reason. And another reason that you are doing this wrong is because you're sending templates. Yes, that was pause for a dramatic effect, okay? You are sending templates. I know you are. I know you're sending templates. Like, you can't even lie to me about it, dude. Like, you're sending templates, okay? So a lot of people say, well, yeah, you can send templates, but you're just going to customize it and, put your information on it and change the words up. No, a template is a template is a template every single day, all day in America, okay? And wherever else, okay? A template is something that was not written by you at that moment, okay? I don't care where you got it, how you got it, whatever. If it's written by someone else or even written by you but used over and over and over again, it's a template, okay? You are using templates, and templates are not the way you get the results, okay? Another thing is that you thought in all your wisdom that you're an attorney and you're going to write like an attorney. Wrong, okay? So you also thought, well, if credit repair companies do this, then I can do it, right? So I'm going to write like I'm a credit repair company. Wrong. Or you disputed online. Wrong again. Tell me why you can't dispute online. Do you know? Do you even know? I'm going to tell you. You should not be disputing online because you are literally making it easier for the bureaus and the creditors, who are, by the way, in bed together, to verify your negative item, okay? So you're also giving up like your rights to take the bureaus and the creditors to court. You're also giving up all these rights under Section 611, such as they don't have to send you the investigation results. They don't have to forward any documentation that you upload to the website to any of the creditors. Like, there's all this stuff that you don't know, and you're just doing it because it's there, right? You log into Credit Karma and you're like, oh, it's like mad easy. I'm just gonna boop, and oh, I just disputed these negative items. I'm going to get all of these results. No, you're not. And guess what? If you get results, they're possibly, more than likely, they're going to be reinserted. And once they are reinserted, because you disputed online, you cannot get them off. Right? So why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to yourself? You are doing these things wrong. I know you are, at least one of these things, and you need to stop. No templates, no disputing online, no sending in this pursuant to this and section yada states, and Congress states that. No, dude. If it's longer than a page, unless it's actually your negative items, then it is too long. Also, did you call and say, oh yeah, Experian, I want to dispute, this Capital One account number, blah, blah, it's not mine. Don't get on the phone. Don't be calling the bureaus. Don't be calling the creditors. Don't call anybody. Everything has to be documented by mail, okay? Everything has to be documented by mail. What are you gonna do, send in a flash drive? Like, really? You're gonna just take your flash drive and you're gonna send it? Or you're gonna like get a transcript and like type it out, or have someone like print out some minutes or something? No. No online, no by phone, okay? All right, moving on. How to fix it. All right, this is the fun part, how to fix it. So now you know that what you are doing is wrong. I get calls all the time saying, oh my God, I didn't know I was doing it wrong until I found one of your videos. I deal with this all day long, okay? I hear it all day long. And then once they actually utilize what I am teaching, now they have results. All of a sudden, all these results pouring in, right? And it's because they were doing it the wrong way and now they're doing it the right way. So how do you fix this? Well, first, the most important thing, besides not using templates, of course, is to submit factual-based disputes, okay? Submit factual-based disputes. What's a factual-based dispute? Do you know? It's when you have your credit report right in front of you and you're going to say, let's just say it's charge off, right? And it's got a monthly payment of $100. Dude, that account is closed. There should be no monthly payment on it, okay? So you're gonna say, remove this for, inaccuracy or accounting violation, whatever. You need to tell them, remove it because there's a monthly payment of $100 on a closed account. Delete immediately. Tell them what you want, why you want it, and what to do about it. Simple as that. You also need to remember that you are just a regular Jane or a regular Joe, okay? And yes, I said Jane first because I'm all about woman's power, right? Okay, so Jane or Joe, you need to remember that you are who you are, right? You're not a lawyer. Remember, you're not supposed to be writing like a lawyer, oh, well, because Congress states this, and in 1997, Cushman versus TransUnion, actually TransUnion stated that they didn't have to go beyond the scope of, no, dude, you are a plumber, you are an electrician, you are a consultant, you are a salesperson, you work at Walmart, you work at Burger King, maybe you have a really good paying job, but you're just a regular Jane or Joe, right? Or a Jane Joe. Who knows? Okay, so you need to write like that. You don't talk like the pursuant to, so why are you going to write like that? You're not going to. It's the same thing as picking up a book. When you read a book, you want to read a book and you can get into it better if it's in regular language. One of the best books I ever read was by Napoleon Hill, and Think and Grow Rich or something like that. Think and Be Rich, Think and Grow Rich. And it was so hard to read because of the way that it was written, right? It was difficult to read, like just difficult. It was like in old language, and it wasn't smooth. It didn't feel right, like in my head. Like it was just, and it was like, oh God, turning another page. So it's the same thing. When you write smoothly, the same way that you talk or you think, you're going to get better results. Why? Because you are a Jane or a Joe, okay? Or a Jane Joe. All right, so you also want to take your 3 or 2 or 20-page dispute letter and turn it into no more than 1 page. Unless you're disputing like 15 accounts and you spaced them and whatever. If your actual disputes take up the majority of the space, that's fine. That's totally fine. But your opening paragraph, right, that very first heading right under Dear Experian or To Experian or To Whom It May Concern, don't use that. It's going to be no more than 4 sentences, and that's a lot. That's like 5 letters in when you're like really angry, right? Turn your long, just huge, monstrous dispute letter into 1 page. Okay, now you also need to understand, and yes, I said this a couple of minutes ago, that the key is the dispute reason, right? The key is the dispute reason. we are talking about dispute reasons. This is a series on dispute reasons. All my recent videos are on dispute reasons. So the key to your results and the key to a perfect, effective, tactical dispute letter is the dispute reason, okay? For every single account. Now remember, the longer you dispute, the harder it is to remove your negative items. So stop giving away all these chances. And that's another reason, and I didn't add this in, but now I'm going to, that's another reason why you're not getting results. You went to company X, or let's say company L. You went to company X, company Y, company Z, because you're impatient and you think that these things occur overnight and whatever, or you were with someone for 12 months and then you went over here and now you're doing it yourself and you're still not getting results. The longer you dispute, the harder it is to remove your negative items, no matter what, no matter whether you're doing it, whether I'm doing it, whether they're doing it. The longer, the harder, okay? So what does that mean? That means that every single dispute letter that you send, you need to think and act like that's the one. That's the one that's going to get my results, okay? And I'm using the most effective, the most tactical, the most strategic dispute reasons to get these off. Remember the hierarchy, okay? The hierarchy, the workflow, all that kind of stuff. You need to utilize these tools to make sure that you're going to get the results that you need and that you deserve, okay? You need to be specific. Be specific. Tell them, I'm disputing this account. This is the reason I'm disputing it, and this is what I want you to do about it. So, for example, you have a late payment from August 2018 on Capital One, and that you want the late payment, not the whole account, to be removed. Your dispute reason would say, I was not late on August 2018, or I paid on time, or this late payment on that date is inaccurate. Please remove this late payment. You can also go even a step further and say and adjust to state that I was never late or that this account is paid as agreed. Okay, so what it is, what you want, and the reason it needs to come off or be corrected. Okay, like I said, ask for the correction or the deletion. Just went over that. And you need to understand pressure, patience, and progress. All right. All right. Moving on. This is what your dispute letter should look like. Okay. So what your dispute letter should look like is what you are seeing on the screen. Now, on the left, yes, this is one of my dispute letters. On the left, you're going to see more of a, like, you're in violation type of dispute where I've given them all these chances, I'm giving them all these factual disputes, and these accounts or this account, whatever, are still or are still on there, right? So I'm pissed off. I'm telling them that they're in violation of this, 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 and this, and then I'm giving them the factual based disputes. All right, so on the right-hand side, it's a very, 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 very simple dispute. Remember, one sentence, and then what I'm disputing. That's it. It's as simple as that. There should not be 5 pages. There should not be 5 paragraphs. There should not be, this is the 5th attempt, bold, underline, italic. You don't need all that, all right? That's one of the things that you are doing wrong. All right, so other things to consider. So I've heard this like 10 times this week that people are just like, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go straight to the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and I'm gonna make complaints like the first round, the second round, the third round, the fourth round, but I'm just doing it because I heard that I should do it, right? So I actually spoke with someone, it was either yesterday or the day before, where they said, hey, I sent out round 1 and round 2, and I also made complaints with the CFPB, and I was like, oh, so you had proof of the violations, like you actually made a valid complaint? And they're like, no, I just made a complaint. And then someone told me that they made a complaint and they never disputed. How does that make any sense? Like, how, what? The whole purpose of the CFPB complaints with credit repair and dispute letters is that you have attempted to do everything that you can, and you are now making a complaint or complaints against one or more bureaus or creditors or collection agencies because is the justifier, remember? They're in violation of something. You asked for something that was allowed by law, right? And they did not do what they were supposed to do, right? The law says that they're supposed to do this, but they didn't, or they did X instead of Y or Z instead of X, right? So stop using the CFPB frivolously. That's another thing that's going to get you jammed up, because they're like, well, you know, we have all of these complaints submitted by all of these millions of people or hundreds of thousands of people that are all the same BS. And here comes yours looking exactly the same as all of those hundreds of thousands of other BS complaints. And then here comes someone that says, hey, look, this is what I tried. Here's the copies of my disputes. Here's my marked up credit reports. Here's this, and this. And here's the proof that my credit report says this, I said this, and they did not do anything, right? How is that different? That's different because you're showing your attempts, right? Letter 1, letter 2, letter 3, letter 4, letter 5, and then now you have the violations. Now you're fed up. Now you're like, hey, I need someone to step in and, you know, reach out and say, well, why didn't you do this? How did you do this? Where's the proof that you did this? Get what I'm saying? Stop doing that frivolously, all right? Identity theft credit sweep. If you are not a victim of identity theft, you should not be utilizing the identity theft credit sweep. Why? Why would you? Why would you? Like, your entire life, you are, you know, a law-abiding citizen, and then all of a sudden you're making false police reports. I actually know people who did 6 months in jail, right, for lying to the police. Not lying to the cops, right, but filing false police reports. So, I mean, is it worth it? Like, it's not worth it. It's not worth for you to go to jail. It's not worth it for, you know, you to have to deal with these things coming off or not coming off and then coming right back on because they were verified as accurate. They were verified that they were yours. And that's another thing. I forgot to put that in there. Saying that something is not yours when it is, when instead you could have said, yeah, this is mine, but it needs to be removed because it's in violation of this, or it's inaccurate because of this, so on and so forth, right? Another thing is that your letter, because of your language, may have been interpreted incorrectly, right? So because of the language in your letter, not even your dispute reasons, but those 15 paragraphs that you put on there, made them think that you were saying that it didn't belong to you, and now you have a fraud alert, and all of your creditors, like for your revolving accounts, they all closed it because of the fraud alert on there, because of the words that you used in your letter. You need to be clear and remember, specific. Be specific, all right? So that is basically it on why and how it was verified as accurate and what to do about it. Now, I'm sure you guys are all used to this part by now, but if you need assistance and you're tired of doing this yourself and you want an actual expert to take over and get you those results that you want, that you need, that you desire, then I am here to assist. And you can go directly to my website at expertcreditsweeps.com. You can find the sign up, the pricing, the program FAQs, and of course, as always, I have 200 videos on YouTube showing you how to do this for free yourself with everything that you need, all right? If you're also looking for the credit repair software or the dispute reason generator or any of my charts and all that kind of stuff, right on my website as well as on Fiverr. All right, so make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.